Good morning, everyone. Happy day before the super new moon in Scorpio. How are you guys doing? I wonder if you're feeling similar symptoms. It was really hard to get out of bed this morning, and I'm feeling a lot of heat, like hot flushes, and feels like the ascension flu again, once a month. And I'm also feeling extremely tired and also feeling like there is a major death and rebirth going on. And as this death and rebirth goes on, this is part of the Scorpionic energy. So we're in the influence of the sun in Scorpio, and having the moon in Scorpio with the sun in Scorpio tomorrow on November 15th is just extra potent, powerful. So not only are we birthing new beginnings individually, but it's also collectively. So for the planet, for the collective. And many of you are going to be feeling at this time a sense of hopelessness, the void, fear, sadness. I mean, deep sadness as things are excavated in order to be released. Things are being excavated so that they can be removed permanently from your psyche, from your emotions, from your experiences, and from your physical life. This will be uncomfortable. It is not meant to be comfortable. So somewhere on the other side of all of this, before we incarnated into this existence, this physical body, at this time and place, we opted for this. We were the soldiers, the warriors of light, and we said, I'm in. I want to do this. I want to create. I want to help birth the new earth. I'm a warrior of the light. And so we did. And so here we are on the other side of that with some amnesia and wondering what were we thinking, because this has not been an easy experience. And for many of us, it's been decades of this. My personal awakening began when I was 21, exactly 20 years ago. And so we know what it's like to suffer. We know what it's like to go through the dark night of the soul. We know what it's like to die and be reborn over and over. And those of you with scorpionic influences in your chart, like I have, understand very deeply what it's like to die and be reborn. So we are in the energy of the phoenix rising. And the heat is being turned up literally. As well, we had Mars. Our dear soul sister Rebecca reminded me yesterday in the live. We have Mars that just went direct yesterday. So after 2 months in retrograde, Mars is now direct. If you're a Scorpio or an Aries, Mars is the ruler of Aries. Mars is the co-ruler, okay, along with Pluto of Scorpio. So Mars has gone direct. What does that mean? Things will be unleashed and unfurled. Things that you've been bottling up, everything is going to come out. The passion, the fire, the intensity, everything is going to be literally brought to the surface. Okay, so we're experiencing, it's almost like I'm feeling it's a boiling pot, a collective boiling pot on a collective stove, huge pot. And it's about to boil over. That's the energy. That's the bubbling over feeling that I feel. So let's go ahead and dive into the cards. We're going to use the hero's journey. We're not going to use the soul truth today, actually. We are going to use the Queen of the Moon Oracle, the Elemental Oracle again, and the hero's journey. This will be a short reading as I have a study session to go to here that I'm going to be late for, but I really wanted to get this reading out to you guys in a timely fashion, because it's just really important. These energies need to be regarded, looked at, and we need to understand what's going on. So let's start with the Elemental Oracle. We'll set these two aside. So as we begin with the Elemental Oracle, we call in, I'm being told to call in fairy energy for groundedness. So we call in the fairy energy. We call in the energy of nature, nature spirits, nymphs, and nimbles. I don't know what a nimble is, but it just came to mind. If anyone can let me know what a nimble is, if that's even a thing. And we call in the energies of the divine. We call in the energies of the ancestors, the energies of the light team. We call in the Syrians, my main guys, the Syrians. Very light-hearted sense of humor, very beautiful, loving energy. We also call in the Lyrians. I'm feeling a lot of feline energy coming in. We call in the energy of the dolphins and the whales. We call in the energy of Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Ariel, Archangel Metatron, and all the other archangels. We call in the energies of the guides, the ascended masters. What would you like us to know, Spirit? What would you like us to know, guides? What would you like us to know, archangels and ascended masters? Thank you. This is for the feminines. The equator to make equal. Look at this. This is beautiful. So right now there's a polarity, there's a split, there's a divide going on in the world. We all know this. We're all seeing it play out in the US in particular, but everywhere. The US with our 2020 election and all the drama that's surrounding the election, all the drama that's surrounding the results of the election. And people are speaking up for where there has been inequality or unfairness, and we're not standing for it anymore. What I also love about this is the yin and the yang energy, the masculine, the feminine, the dark versus the light, the black versus the white. And this is really beautiful. I think that this is seeing both sides of the equator, right? Both sides of the equation. And this is the hot and the cold, the night and the day. There's so many, the sweet and the sour. There's so many ways to look at this. This is the card of opposites, but it's about coming together. This is about, this new moon symbolizes a coming together of humanity, a coming together of humankind, a coming together of all races, all religions, all creeds, all possible backgrounds, and all ideas, the ideas of what is right or just. This is about bringing justice into balance and into view. And I feel like this is a world view. This new moon is bringing in a bigger picture. So a lot of us are actually, we are putting our divine connections on the back burner for the moment because we see that the world needs us at this time. So the romantic connection, the romantic aspect is still there, but it's put on pause while we fight the good fight, while we embody and embrace the warrior spirit so that we can help bring the world together. There's just, the world is center stage right now. The individual connections are there. Some people are working in mission in tandem together, but many of us aren't yet at this time. But that's going to come full circle. That's going to come really tumbling in very shortly here, as soon as December or the end of November for some people. But that's what I see with that energy. So what about the masculine energy, both within and without? Pressure, transformation. So what do we have? Well, transformation, Scorpio is a sign of transformation and death and rebirth. So what we have here is the masculine really feeling the boiling point. Okay, really feeling the pressure of this new moon. The masculine is being reborn. The masculine energy within yourself is being reborn, especially working in tandem with Mars going direct. Mars is the god of war, but also the god of action, okay? The god of passion, the god of transformation. And Mars doesn't do anything lightly. Mars does everything with 200% power and vitality, force, and strength. So there's a lot of strength coming through here for the masculines, but they feel like they're in a pressure cooker at the moment, guys. If your masculine isn't communicating, if you have been in communication and suddenly they're not communicating, this is why. They're unable to communicate at this time without, they're angry, okay? There is anger coming up for the masculines. This is not a lovey-dovey energy, while the feminine's over here balancing out the world, okay? The feminine energy bringing in bringing us from polarity into oneness. Okay, that's what the feminine energy is doing. The masculine energy is like, hey, I'm over here. Anyone want to help me? But then they don't want help. They don't want our advice. They don't want our guidance. They actually need to go through this alone. So many feminines like myself are going to learn the hard way that the more you try to get your masculine to see, the more you try to shake them up and wake them up, the more you try to educate them about what this connection is and what this means, the more it's going to backfire if they're not ready. If they're ready, that's a different story. If they're not ready, they're going to resist. Resistance will persist as long as you persist, and it will just create more and more distance. And it's going to piss them off ultimately right now because they have so much going on. They've been called this year to transform. So where the feminine had years or decades to transform and to wake up and to be shaken awake, the masculine's done this in 2020, in 1 year. Okay? So masculine energy not feeling so great. That's why if you're a feminine, you're literally feeling the heat. Like I can feel the heat through my body right now. That's the masculine energy, your masculine energy, and potentially also the external masculine in your life. What's happening through all of this, right? This fire energy, this passion, a quality being brought into the planet. Look, planetary alignment. What's happening here is for union energy, the masculine and feminine, the yin and the yang coming together, is we have creation. So this is all a part of creating the new earth. But we're doing this in a delicate way. So the feminine's going to come and sort of override the fiery energy of the masculine. The feminine's going to come and sort of fan the flame, not fan the flames, that would make them brighter and stronger, but the feminine's going to come and sort of put a little bit of water on the flames, sort of cooling down the masculine energy. And as the feminine cools